Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the class. Today we are going to start chapter number 2, that is nutrition in animals. First of all, we will try to understand the meaning of the term nutrition. Now, nutrition is nothing but a simple process of obtaining food or nutrients that are necessary for your health and growth. In previous lesson, you have understood that plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. But animals cannot prepare their food by themselves. The reason is that animals do not have that apparatus that is present in the plants, that is chloroplasts. Therefore, animals are dependent on plants. So some animals directly consume plants, whereas other animals consume other animals. Now these other animals ultimately depend on plants. So it means the ultimate source of nutrition or energy on our planet is plants. Now here we will see that why animals require food. Also mind that human beings are also included under animals. Now animals require food for three main reasons. First one is growth of their body. As you can see in this video that when we are born, we are very small in size. But we keep on growing up to a certain age. Let us say up to our teens, the size of our body keeps on increasing. So growth means our size increases. So up to the age of around 19 to 20 years, our energy demands are higher because a lot of energy is required to increase the size of the body, that is for the process of the growth. When our growth stops, then we require little bit less amount of energy. But some parts of the body, for example hair and nails, they keep on growing throughout the body. But overall energy demand of the body decreases after a certain age or after attaining adulthood. Now, second reason is repair. Although we are not aware of this process, but damage occurs every day inside our body. A lot of cells are damaged and they are also repaired inside the body. And for all these processes, our body requires energy, and that energy is obtained through the food that we eat. Last one is functioning of the body. Here functioning means that those normal processes which occur every day in our body to maintain our life, they are called as life processes. For example, breathing, digestion, respiration, excretion, circulation of the blood, etc. All these processes require energy. Even when we are sleeping, all these functions are carried on by the body itself. So energy is required mainly for these three processes. First one growth, second repair, and third is for life processes. Now we will see various components of food. In this diagram, you can see that food has a lot of nutrients. Let us start from carbohydrates, then fats, proteins, minerals, water, roughage, and vitamins. Now, out of all these components, some components can be absorbed by the blood directly. For example, water, vitamins, minerals, etc. Whereas these three main components, that is carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, they are not absorbed by the body as it is, by the blood as it is. In this diagram, we can see certain sources of these nutrients. Now, if we take first three nutrients, that is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, they are the complex nutrients. Just like your science book has, let us say, 15 or 16 chapters, it will seem very complex to you. In order to absorb or understand that science book, you need to break it into chapters, which has been already done in your books. So it is a complex book. It is made simple by dividing into chapters. Chapters are further divided into topics to make it simpler. Similarly, these complex nutrients are broken down to simpler parts so that they can be absorbed by the blood easily. Let us see in the next slide. So these three, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, are the complex substances. How complex substances are utilized by the body. So they are simply broken into simpler forms, and this process through which these complex substances are broken into simpler forms is called as digestion. Now, why digestion is required? So that our blood can easily absorb all these nutrients. Then blood transports all these nutrients in each and every organ, or we can say to each and every cell of the body from head to toe. Now these carbohydrates, they break down to their simpler form, that is glucose. Then amino acids, they break down to their simpler forms that are called as amino acids. And fats, they break down to their simpler forms that are called as fatty acids and glycerol. In this diagram, we can see that this carbohydrate, that is a starch molecule, is made up of a number of small units. After digestion, these small units will separate out as sugar molecules, which is also called as glucose. Now, this thing is a simpler substance which can be easily absorbed by the blood. Digestion converts complex food to simpler food. Now, here we have example of protein. Just like carbohydrate, we have a protein molecule that is made up of a number of units. This enzyme protease, it helps in the breakdown of this complex protein molecule. This process is called as digestion, to obtain these small simpler forms called as amino acids. Now they can be easily absorbed by the blood. Our next topic is different ways of taking food. Here's a spelling mistake, taking T-A-K-I-N-G, taking food. Now these processes of taking food differs in different animals. For example, in snakes, such as python, food is swallowed as a whole, as you can see in this image. Okay, the process is called as swallowing. Similarly, okay, here is also a mistake. No, it is correct. Different ways of taking food, right? So, second example is hummingbird. It sucks nectar. So, here the process of taking food is called as sucking. As you can see in the diagram, sorry, in the image. Now, in human beings, the way to take food is through the process of ingestion. Ingestion means to put the food in the mouth through oral cavity. Now, this is the image of Kendriya Vidyalaya students having their community lunch. I have taken this picture from our Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan's Twitter handle. Next example is that some aquatic animals, they filter tiny food particles which are floating around them and they feed upon them, and they are called as filter feeders. Example is sponges. In your textbook they have given a special example of starfish. Starfish, how starfish feeds, I'll show you through a video. This diagram shows the process through which starfish eats its food. Okay, now we continue our topic. Okay, that's it. Let us recap today's topics. First of all, we have understood the meaning of the term nutrition. That is, it is a process of obtaining the food or nutrients. Next topic was components of food. There are a number of components, of which three are complex components, that is carbohydrates, proteins and fats, which need to be broken down to their simpler forms so that body can easily use it and blood can easily absorb it. Third is different ways to take food. So different animals, depending upon their lifestyles, their habitats, their digestive systems, their body type, they have different ways, they have evolved different ways to take their food. Next topic is digestion in humans. We will start this topic in tomorrow's class. Thank you for watching.